Have you ever stood up from a chair, climbed a few stairs, or caught your reflection in the mirror and thought, why do my hips feel weaker, my balance less steady, and my butt looked flatter than it used to? If so, you are not imagining it. For many adults over 60, the glutes begin to shrink, soften, and stop doing their job the way they once did. The backside loses shape. The hips feel less stable. Walking feels heavier. Getting up from low seats takes more effort. And sometimes the body starts relying on the knees or lower back instead. Most people are told that this is just what aging looks like, but that is only part of the story. Yes, age changes muscle mass. But weak glutes are not simply about getting older. They're also about what the body stops practicing. Less hip extension, less side-to-side control, less power when standing, climbing, and catching balance. Over time, the glutes stop being leaders and start becoming passengers. And here's the good news. That can change in this video. I am going to walk you through 4 essential exercises that can help adults over 60 rebuild stronger glutes safely and effectively. Not random moves, not flashy gym exercises, but simple, science-supported movements that target the muscles you actually need for standing tall, walking with confidence, climbing stairs, and restoring shape and strength where it matters most. And if you are watching this and you are over 60, I would love to know you better. Drop a comment below with your first name, your age, and where you are watching from. This is not just a video. It is a growing community of people choosing strength, balance, and independence one smart step at a time. Before we get into the exercises, let's understand why the glutes matter so much. After 60, your glutes are not just there for appearance. They are the engine behind some of the most important movements in daily life. The gluteus maximus helps you stand up, climb stairs, and push through each step. The gluteus medius, the muscle on the side of the hip, helps keep your pelvis level when you walk and supports your balance when you shift weight from one leg to the other. When these muscles weaken, your body starts looking for help somewhere else. The thighs grip harder, the lower back tightens, the knees take on more load. And that is when movement starts to feel less efficient, less stable, and sometimes more painful. This is not just theory. Research has consistently shown that stronger hip muscles, especially the hip abductors on the side of the hip, are strongly linked to better balance, better walking, and better stair performance in older adults. In fact, a systematic review found that hip abductor strength is critical for balance and mobility, independent of age. In plain English, that means these muscles matter, no matter how old you are. And they matter even more when you want to stay steady and independent. Another important finding is this. Adults over 65 with weaker hip abductor strength are more likely to show the kinds of deficits we associate with fall risk. So when we strengthen the glutes, we are not just chasing a rounder backside. We are protecting movement, confidence, and safety. That is why the 4 exercises you are about to learn are so powerful. Each one has a job. The first wakes the glutes up. The second strengthens the side hip for stability. The third builds real-world standing strength. And the fourth ties everything together in a movement that carries directly into daily life. Let's start with the first one. The first exercise is the glute bridge. If your glutes have been quiet for a long time, this is one of the safest and most effective ways to wake them up again. It helps restore hip extension, which is the movement many adults lose after years of sitting more and moving less. It also gives you a chance to feel the glutes working without asking your knees or lower back to do the heavy lifting. Why does this matter? After 60, because many people try to strengthen their glutes while standing before they have reconnected to them. And if the body cannot feel the glutes, well, it will often send the work into the hamstrings or back instead. The bridge helps rebuild that mind-muscle connection. Here is how to do it. Lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor, about hip-width apart. Bring your heels close enough that your fingertips can almost touch them. Let your arms rest by your sides. Before you lift, gently tighten your stomach like you are bracing for a small cough. Then press through your heels and slowly lift your hips off the floor. At the top, think about making a straight line from your shoulders to your knees. Pause for 1 to 2 seconds and squeeze your glutes, not your lower back. Then lower down slowly with control. Aim for 8 to 12 reps. Rest and do 2 to 3 sets. A few coaching tips. Do not throw your hips up fast. Move slowly. Keep the ribs down. If you feel cramping in the hamstrings, bring your feet a little closer and focus more on pushing through the heels. If getting on the floor is difficult, you can start with a smaller range of motion or do a seated version later. But if you can do this safely, the bridge is an excellent first step. Why this works so well is simple. It teaches the glutes to extend the hips again. And rehabilitation research has shown that bridge variations can produce strong glute activation, especially when done with control. This is where rebuilding begins. Now, once the glutes are awake, we need to strengthen the side of the hips, because this is where many adults over 60 lose stability without realizing it. The second exercise is the supported standing hip abduction. This one may look small, but do not underestimate it. This movement targets the gluteus medius, the side glute muscle that helps keep you level when you walk, turn, or stand on one leg. If this muscle is weak, the pelvis can drop, your body may sway more, and each step becomes less stable. That is one reason why side hip strength is so strongly connected to balance. Here is how to do it. Stand tall next to a wall, kitchen counter, or sturdy chair. Hold on lightly for balance. Place your feet hip-width apart. Shift your weight onto one leg without leaning your torso. Then slowly move the opposite leg out to the side, just a few inches, not forward, not backward, directly out to the side. Pause briefly, then return with control. Perform 10 to 12 reps on one side, then switch. Do 2 sets on each leg. Now here's the most important part. Keep your body tall. Do not hike the hip. Do not swing the leg. The movement is small on purpose. The goal is not height. The goal is control. You should feel the side of the standing hip and the moving hip start to work. If that feels easy, add a loop band around the thighs or ankles later. But first, master the motion without compensation. Why this matters after 60 is huge. Stronger hip abductors help you control side-to-side movement, and that is critical for staying steady when your footing is not perfect. Research has shown that hip abductor strength plays a major role in balance and mobility in older adults. And rehab literature consistently supports standing hip abduction as a strong option for targeting the side glutes. So now you have woken up the main glute with the bridge, and you have started strengthening the side glute with standing hip abduction. Next, we need to train the glutes in one of the most important real-life movements of all. Standing up, the third exercise, is the sit-to stand with a pause. This may seem basic, but that is exactly why it matters. This is not just an exercise. It is a life movement. Every time you get up from a chair, the toilet, the couch, or the car, your glutes should be helping. If they are weak, the body often shifts that work into the knees or uses momentum instead. That is why mastering this pattern is so important. Here is how to do it. Sit on a sturdy chair with your feet about hip-width apart. Bring your feet back slightly so they are underneath you, not way out in front. Lean your chest forward just a little, keeping your back long. Then press through your feet and stand up without using your hands if you can. Once you are standing, pause for 1 second and gently squeeze the glutes. Then lower yourself back down slowly and with control. Perform 8 to 10 reps, rest, and complete 2 to 3 sets. If needed, use your hands on the chair or armrests at first. That is okay. What matters is control and progress. Over time, try to rely less on the hands and more on the legs and hips. Do not collapse down into the chair. Lower slowly. Keep your knees tracking over your toes. Press through your whole foot, especially the heels. And when you stand, think tall, not rushed. Why this works is because it trains the glutes in a functional pattern you actually use every single day. It builds strength, coordination, and confidence. It also teaches the hips to produce force at the right moment, instead of leaving the knees to take over. And for adults over 60, that can make daily life feel dramatically easier. Now, once you can wake the glutes up, stabilize the side hips, and stand with more power, there is one final step. You need to teach the glutes to work while you move upward against gravity. That brings us to exercise number 4. The fourth exercise is the step up. If I had to choose one movement that feels the most like real life, this would be near the top of the list. Step-ups train the glutes to help you climb stairs, step onto curbs, and lift your body with control. And they do something else that matters. Even more after 60. They challenge balance and strength. At the same time, research and exercise science literature have repeatedly highlighted step-ups as a strong glute training option, especially for the gluteus medius and the muscles that help stabilize the pelvis. In other words, this is not just a leg exercise. It is a glute and balance exercise together. Here is how to do it. Stand in front of a low step, stair, or aerobic platform. Hold on to a railing or countertop for support if needed. Place one foot fully on the step. Lean forward slightly from the hips, then press through the heel of the foot on the step and rise up. Try not to push off too much from the back leg. The front glute should do most of the work. Step back down slowly and repeat all reps on one side. Before switching, start with 6 to 8 reps per leg for 2 sets. Keep the step low at first. This is not about how high you can go. It is about how well you can control the lift and the lowering phase. A few coaching tips. Keep your knee aligned with your toes. Do not let it collapse inward. Stand tall at the top. Lower more slowly than you rise. And if balance feels shaky, use more support, not less. There is no prize for wobbling. Why this matters after 60 is simple. Life is full of steps, curbs, uneven surfaces, and moments where one leg must be strong enough to carry you. Step-ups train that directly. They help restore confidence in climbing, improve hip power, and teach the glutes to support you in a more functional, integrated way. And that is what makes this 4-exercise system so effective. The glute bridge wakes the muscles up. The standing hip abduction strengthens the side glutes that stabilize your pelvis. The sit-to-stand builds practical power for everyday life. And the step-up teaches your glutes to work in movement, balance, and stair climbing. Together, they cover what many adults over 60 actually need most: activation, stability, strength. Quickly building stronger glutes does not mean overnight. It means choosing the right exercises instead of wasting time on random ones. It means being consistent enough for your body to relearn what strength feels like. And it means understanding that after 60, the goal is not just bigger muscles. It is better movement, because stronger glutes change more than your shape. They help you stand taller. They help you walk with more control. They help you rise from a chair with less struggle. They help you climb stairs with more confidence. They help your hips support you when balance is challenged. And yes, over time, they can help your backside look firmer, fuller, and more lifted again. But what you are really rebuilding is trust in your body, the ability to move without feeling fragile, the ability to do ordinary things without overthinking them, the ability to stay independent longer, and that matters far more than appearance alone. So if your glutes have felt weak, flat, or disconnected, take this as your reminder. It is not too late. Your body is still listening. It still adapts. It still responds to smart, consistent effort. You do not need a gym full of machines. You do not need complicated routines. You need a few essential movements done well, done regularly, and done with patience. Now, I would love to hear from you. Which of these 4 exercises are you most ready to try first? The bridge, the standing side lift, the sit-to-stand, or the step-up? And if you are over 60, drop your first name, your age, and where you are watching from in the comments below. Let's build a strong, supportive community of people who are not accepting weakness as the price of aging. If this video helped you, share it with someone you care about. Because stronger glutes are not just about looking better. They are about walking better, living better, and staying stronger for the life you still want to live.